Deep in the forest, there is a tree no creature dares to approach. No birds land on its branches. No insects crawl across its bark. Even the wild animals stop at a distance, lowering their heads, refusing to step closer. The ground around the tree is always dark and damp, as if it never fully dries. When the wind blows, the leaves of nearby trees tremble. But this one never moves. The elders say the forest remembers what happened there. Long ago, in the nearest village, there lived a man with his wife and their 2 young daughters. They were not wealthy, but their home was warm, filled with laughter and kindness. Then one morning, the mother was gone. She had left with another man, who took her in the city, where they started a new life. When the father learned the truth, grief hollowed him out. Soon, grief turned to anger. Anger turned to bitterness, and bitterness turned to hate. He began to drink, at first only at night, then during the day, then whenever he was awake. As the weeks passed, the man could no longer look at his daughters without seeing their mother's face. Their voices reminded him of her. Their laughter felt like mockery. One night, heavy with drink, the children began to argue and cry. The sound echoed inside his skull. He shouted at them to be quiet. They didn't understand. He struck them, once, then again. The first child fell and did not rise. When the father realized what he had done, terror flooded his chest. The second girl screamed and ran for the door. He caught her before she reached it, and the house fell silent after a few minutes. He opened a bottle, and he sat down among the bodies with shaking body, whispering apologies that no one could hear. After he finished the bottle, he wrapped the girls in old blankets and carried them into the forest. He walked until the trees closed in and the path disappeared. There he found a solitary tree standing apart from the others. The ground beneath it felt warm, soft, almost breathing. He dug with shaking hands and buried his daughters beneath the roots. As he covered them, the forest grew unnaturally quiet. No insects, no wind, no distant animals. When he turned to leave, the earth shifted. The ground beneath his feet dissolved into thick mud, pulling him down. Each step dragged him deeper. His screams were swallowed, muffled, as if the forest itself pressed a hand over his mouth. The ground closed over him. By morning, there was no trace of the man. Only the tree stood there, taller than before. Since that night, nothing living approaches it. Animals refuse to cross the invisible boundary. Travelers who step too close feel the soil soften beneath their boots, slowly tightening its grip. They say the tree feeds on guilt, and the ground remembers every scream it has ever swallowed.